All right, we're ready to continue on with Vanderbilt. We'll ask Coach Byington for just a general thought or two on the game, and then we'll take your questions just for the two student athletes, and then we'll excuse them back to the locker room and finish up with questions for Coach. And a reminder, when you ask a question, just identify yourself and the outlet that you represent. Coach?
Yeah, a tough afternoon. I thought Texas played really well. I thought we were ready to play. And the first half was just frustrating. I was frustrated. The guys were frustrated. And just, we couldn't settle into the game. And it's one of those things where I almost think we won it too bad. I mean, we were out there and missing threes and missing shots and missing plays that we normally make. And I thought they had a game plan that we were trying to adapt to, of just driving the ball. They got to the free throw line in the first half, did a good job of kind of creating separation. And I knew our guys would bounce back in the second half, and I thought we did a good job of fighting back, giving ourselves a chance. But they made the plays, and they're a good team, like every team in the SEC. I mean, they're good, and you got to play really well to be able to beat a team in this league, and we didn't this afternoon.
We'll take questions just for the two student athletes. If you have a question for either, please raise your hand, and we'll start right on the front row on the left.
Tyler, with that slow start, you talked yesterday about not being complacent. It sounds like that wasn't a worry within the locker room after the game, but how difficult was it in the first half when the shots weren't falling and things started to go the other way?
Yeah, it's just like Coach said, it's really frustrating. We all wanted this so bad. You want to win every game, but especially in the SEC tournament, we all wanted this one really, really badly. So when things aren't quite going your way and shots aren't falling, it just adds that much more frustration. You got to try to move to the next play, but it's definitely irritating.
Other questions? Let's go to the middle aisle.
Brandon Bigsby, Vandy 24/7. Kind of backing off of that, Tyler, how is it kind of balancing, making sure you guys have that sense of urgency that you need, but also not making it to where it's affecting you guys and you're almost wanting it too badly, like Coach mentioned?
Yeah, that's just part of the game, We all want to win really badly, and sometimes Coach was probably right. It kind of felt like we were pressing a little bit because of how badly we wanted this one, but it's part of the game. Everybody wants to win really bad, and you kind of, like you said, find the balance of playing free and confidently, but also smart and doing everything you can to win the game. So we were just it was in a tough spot today. We all wanted it, but just couldn't get everything clicking all the way.
Other questions for either of the student athletes? Okay, let's go to the middle aisle and the way back.
For both of you guys, obviously, this was the last game, the last chance you had to prove yourselves before Selection Sunday. What's the feeling going into that? Is there any sense of anxiety or worry?
Devin, would you take that first?
We don't have no worries. Our play will just say for itself. We had a tremendous season, so that's what we got to go off of.
And Tyler?
Yeah, going off of what Dev said, I think we had a really strong regular season. We had some really meaningful wins. Our conference is amazing. This is by far the best conference in the country. So knowing what we did in the regular season, I think should speak for itself.
All right, next question. Yeah, go ahead. Middle.
Devin, you came to Vanderbilt from Boston College playing in the ACC. It's not every league in the country that you're an NCAA tournament team facing another likely NCAA tournament team in the first round of your conference tournament. How difficult has this season been in the SEC, and how much do you think that's prepared you for March Madness?
SEC is the best, like Tyler said, I think it's the best league this year. And just every night's a battle. And that definitely prepared us to take on any team. We're not scared of any team. So, yeah, it definitely prepared us for play anybody. And we're ready for anybody.
Got time for maybe one more question? All right, let's take it on the far left.
For Devin or Tyler, what do you think it's going to mean for a lot of the guys on this team who came from different places and, joined a brand new team? You guys built something here to have a chance to show what you could do in the NCAA tournament.
Devin, would you take that?
A lot of us came from not a lot of us came from winning programs, but I felt like we had a successful season this year, and so that's meaningful for a lot of us, and we're just gonna keep building on it for next year.
All right, thank you. You guys can return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with Coach Byington. If you have a question for him, please raise your hand. And we'll get one of the floor mics to you, and let's start right on the middle aisle, third row.
Yeah, Mark, are you still confident in your teams getting selected for the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I'm sure that's the question on everybody's mind. And you know what the selection committee does is they look at your entire season. And when you do that, our top 25 wins, our quad one wins, being in this league and showing how good a basketball we can play. I mean, we beat a lot of teams that are probably going to be 1 or 2 seeds this year. So we're a little bit banged up right now. You know, I anticipate us being fully healthy in the next couple of days. And then we will, you know, look like we looked maybe a week and a half ago. We've, you know, played great basketball the entire year, but I think, you know, we had a stretch there in February. I think we were one of the best 20 teams in the country. And so we'll get back to that with the next opportunity.
Okay, next question on, go ahead in front row.
Mark, you talk about maybe wanting it a little bit too much in that first half. How difficult is it this time of year when 1 or 2 shots don't go or they make a shot and all of a sudden it kind of snowballs against you?
Yeah, it's the excitement of tournament basketball. When you know if you don't win, you go home, you know, or you're out of this tournament. And, you know, it is pressure. But, you know, being in that situation, we needed to embrace it. And you know, having our guys fully focused, I thought they were. I thought they prepped great. You know, we come out in the game and we started well. And then I look up and it's 13-7. And I can kind of look at our guys' faces that a little bit they were frustrated. And then our execution got bad. That's when I thought we started pressing and started doing some things that were out of character. In the second half, we got back to in character and played hard, but just came up short.
Next question on the far left, second row.
Yeah, Mark, here a few games ago, you got to the point where you're feeling pretty good about your tournament chances. When that happens, does the dynamic change at all, especially when you're going against these teams that have a little more urgency at this part of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we talked about and we thought about, really in the coaching staff room, not so much with the team. You know, we had a stretch there. We finished playing Missouri. We played 6 straight ranked teams in a row. And I don't know any other teams in the country outside of the SEC that ever have that issue. And we finished that stretch, and that's when some injuries came about, and we looked a little tired after that stretch. And Arkansas got us at home, and I thought they played really well. But then we're leading the second half at Georgia last game, so we played good basketball. And then we're facing a Texas team that's fighting for their life, and you could tell that. But there's a lot of teams in the SEC, almost every single one of them is playing for something. And we've been playing for something. Texas is playing for something, and even the 1-2 seeds in this SEC tournament are trying to be 1 seed on the line or win the SEC tournament. So we're in the same boat. We were playing hard. We've talked about this for a month now. We're in a must-win situation. So that really hasn't changed, even when we were 1-3 in a row. And then this last stretch here, we haven't won. But you know, this team, when they get the next opportunity, this will be a great lesson learned from us, and we'll be better from this. And getting healthy and learning from this, the next time will be much better.
Okay, let's come right to the center, right here, second row.
Coach, you talk about the next opportunity with this being a team that doesn't have a lot of experience in this situation, and you talk about the pressures of March and maybe that being a reason why they wanted it a little bit too bad. How do you guys kind of manage that to where you can take this as a lesson going into the NCAA tournament next week?
Yeah, it's controlling the things you can control. And, you know, tournament basketball is low turnovers, it's defense, it's rebounding. And, you know, the big difference between our game, our first Texas game, and this one was the offensive rebounding. The first half they got them, we didn't get them. And we missed plenty of shots that were opportunities for us to get rebounds. But, you know, it's something we've been good at. We weren't good at today. And just executing was poor in the first half. That's on me. And, you know, just having our guys just get comfortable in the situation. Yeah, almost rather them feel pressure than to be, you know, the opposite word of being relaxed and feel like we've made it. You know, feeling the pressure, I wanted that because, you know, hopefully that gets us in tune and gets us ready to play.
Got 2 questions on the far left over there. Let's get both of those.
Mark, teams want to be playing their best basketball at this time of year. You guys instead have lost the last few games. How do you go about re-energizing and refocusing these players before the biggest games of their lives in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, we got to get healthy. Grant Huffman, not having him, I know his stats don't really stick out to anybody, but he's our best defensive player. And he also spells AJ and gets these guys out of the game a little bit and gets them off the ball. And MJ Collins tried to fight today, couldn't play, and he's one of my best defensive guys and has had big games this year. So those guys got some minor ankle stuff that, that should be back. And our kind of positive thing, our best thing this year was strength in numbers. And sometimes we run into these SEC teams, and their 5 might be better than our 5. But when we got to 8 or 9 and kept playing hard and kept bringing numbers in, that was our thing. And so we'll get back to that in the next one.
Question, let's go to the far left, and then I'll come back to you.
Yeah, Mark, Pete Thamel from ESPN, you answered me a little bit there, but do you feel like if you play next Thursday, you have everybody available at a generally high percentage?
Yeah, I mean, we're close now, and I'm not the best guy if you ask what day of the week it is. I actually thought today was Saturday, and so I'm a little bit off, but I do know this, that we got a couple days off here, and in our injuries, the guys will be back, and we've shown how good we can play, and when we got our guys, we got our numbers. I mean, there's going to be teams like I said, on the 1 and 2 lines, we beat them, and we beat I don't know how many top 25 teams. And so our good's good. We weren't there today, but we'll be back to it.
Okay, last question in the middle on the left side.
Mark, obviously there's a lot of people out there that are pretty confident your team's going to make the NCAA tournament. A lot less confidence surrounding Texas. You've played them twice now. What can you say about their squad and where you think they are with their tournament chances?
Yeah, I mean, you just look at some of these teams and you look at how talented they are, and the coaching staff, the players, and going through this gauntlet is unlike other leagues even have a chance to experience. And it's quad 1 games. It's great environments. The gyms are sold out. They're packed. The mental part of this league is probably the most difficult. So you can play really good basketball and lose, and maybe you do that 2 times in a row or 3 times in a row, and other leagues kind of got a benefit. They got a quad 2, quad 3, quad 4 game in there. They can kind of gain their confidence and resettle themselves. This really tests your resiliency in this league. And so you can't get down. You might play good and lose. And we had a stretch there. We lost 3 straight, and we played Auburn, and we're beating Auburn in the second half, and everybody knows how good they are. And then we go down to Florida, at Florida, and winning most of the game. And then we play at Tennessee. We're winning 38 minutes out of that, and could have easily won that game. But all of them end up being losses, and so what you can't do is let your team get down. And then we did have a nice comeback after that. We won a bunch in a row against good teams, so we'll do the same thing.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.